In your school days, you must have studied that light travels at a speed of 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. We are taught that speed of light was discovered in 1695 by a scientist named Ole Romer, and later it was proved by many experiments, including the experiments conducted by American physicists Michelson and Morley in the early 19th century. Though different physicists tried to measure the speed of light through different experiments, the first successful attempt to measure the speed of light was performed by Max Planck. This is what we are taught in school, but unfortunately, we are not taught that measuring the speed of light was a very old phenomenon, and the first estimate of the speed of light was given by Vedic scholars thousands of years ago. So now let us first understand why Vedic scholars derived speed of light. Worshipping sun or Surya Dev has been going on in India since time immemorial. Even today, many of the traditional festivals like Pongal, Chhat Puja and yoga forms like Surya Namaskar to either worship sun god or pay respect to sun god. In Rig Veda, there are many verses dedicated to sun god. For example, consider the below verse that defines the properties of light. Now if you are smart enough, then you must have understood what this allegory means. 7 horses refers to nature of light as being composed of 7 colors, and tied by snakes symbolizes the curved path of this light. Examples are rainbow and lights refracting from prism. These 7 colors are mentioned in the Vedic sutras and referred in modern science as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. These 7 colors were unknown to the Western world till the 17th century when Sir Isaac Newton copied the theory of gravitational force and properties of light from Indian scriptures. Following verse from Rig Veda defines the speed of light. Let us split up the words of this verse to understand how it defines the speed of light. Dve means 2, Shate means 100, Nimishardana means half nimisha. So the above verse in English translates as sunlight travels 2202 yojanas in half nimisha. Now you may wonder what the hell is yojana and nimisha. In Vedic terminology, yojana and nimisha is the unit of distance and time respectively. So now you will ask, how do we express these Vedic units in modern SI units? Well, this is the most difficult part. Since Rig Veda is a book of hymns dedicated to gods, it does not have any clear definition of yojana or nimisha. Also, since yojana and nimisha were the most common units used in those times, many of the books written in that era didn't explicitly define yojana and nimisha. However, we have many other ancient books that expresses the measurement of yojana and nimisha. Measurement of nimisha in SI units. Nimisha in Sanskrit means winking the eye or something that happens within the blinks of an eye. Nimishardana means half of nimisha. According to science, our eyes can blink 5 times in 1 second. So as per modern science, Nimishardana is 0.1 seconds. Nimisha is described in Shanti Parva of Mahabharata as, from this we can see that 1 hour is equal to 17,043 nimisha, and therefore 1 nimisha is equal to 0.212 seconds, and hence nimishardana, that is half nimisha, is 0.1056 seconds, which is remarkably closer to scientific derived value of 0.1 seconds. Measurement of yojana in SI units. Yojana is described in details in ancient Vedic text Vishnu Purana as shown below. Now from above, you can see that 1 yojana is around 14.46 km to 14.63 km. Note here that we have used the approximate values for all the calculations. For example, a man's average height is assumed as 6 feet. In paper published in Indian Journal of History of Science, Sir Monier Williams, based on his research, derived the value of yojana as 9 miles, that is 14.48 kilometers. Furthermore, Aryabhatta defined angula as between 1.8 and 1.9 centimeter, according to which yojana lies between 14.6 to 16.4 kilometers. Now that we have the value of yojana and nimisha, we can calculate the speed of light in modern SI unit as distance divided by time is equal to number of yojana into number of miles divided by number of seconds, which is 2202 into 9 divided by 0.1056. So the calculation comes to 1,87,670.45 miles per second, which is very close to modern scientific value of speed of light, which is 1,86,000 miles per second. Some more evidences and calculations. Kautilya Arthashastra, written in 320 BC, defines 1 nimisha as 1 divided by 3,60,000 of the day and night, that is 0.24 seconds. Hence half of nimisha according to Kautilya Arthashastra is 0.12 second. If you measure the cubit of all ancient civilizations, you will find it to be between 50 and 53 centimeter. Sacred Egyptian cubit measures 52.92 centimeter. Sacred Babylonian cubits measures 51.03 centimeter. Egyptian royal cubit measures 52.38 centimeter. Copper bar excavated from Nippur defines Sumerian cubit as 51.85 centimeter. Persian cubit has 50.01 centimeter. Harappan cubits were between 51.56 to 52.32 centimeter. Based on all this cubit calculation, yojana is calculated to be between 16.2 to 16.74 kilometers. Persian Purusha were about 2.004 meter tall, while Copperman of Nippur were 2.074 meter tall. Purusha in Indus Valley were between 2.062 to 2.093 tall. Based on all this Purusha calculation, yojana again comes out to be between 16.5 to 16.74 kilometer. Considering all the above yojana measurements as true and the calculation of nimisha mentioned in Kautilya Arthashastra as true, we can derive the speed of light between 2,97,000 to 3,07,000 km per second, which is a very good range to modern accepted speed of light, that is 3 lakh km per second. This minor difference with modern value of speed of light can be attributed to the following reasons. We don't have any precise definition of yojana or nimisha, hence we can derive only its closest possible value. And even a small error in deriving its closest possible value can make a big difference when multiplied or divided by a huge number. Hence, when expressed in thousands of miles or kilometers, there will be considerable differences in value. Sayanacharya, a scholar par excellence and minister in court of Vijayanagar's empire of the early 14th century, in his commentary book on Rigveda, said the following. It seems that Sayana derived his commentary from the verse 4.2.18 of Skanda Purana, which is, "He who traverses in half the time of the twinkling of the eye 2202 yojanas according to human calculation is also held up for a long time." Adding up further, Sayana also said, "Sun giving light to all the things, even to the moon and the planets by night, for they are of a watery substance from which the rays of the sun are reflected." Above comment of Sayana seems to be derived from the following verse of Rigveda, which is translated as, "Swift and all beautiful art thou, O Surya, maker of the light, illuminating the entire radiant realm." Since Sayanacharya was only commenting on the Rigvedic text, it is practically possible that even in earlier times, many interpretations and translation of various measurements existed in ancient books, but all of them were lost in the burning of the world's most ancient universities in India, like Nalanda University and the Takshila University, by the cruel British and Mughal invaders. Conclusion. Since all other Vedic theories matches with modern science, I don't have a slightest doubt that the Vedic sages were aware of the speed of light. Ancient Vedic sages have established the speed of light many millenniums ago, long before all the modern scientists came closer to Vedic estimate of speed of light.
That's it in this video. Keep watching for more such videos. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, then please like, share and comment, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.